Hello everyone, this is just a quick video to show you how to use the various bolts and dowel pins that come with your machine. They'll come in little plastic envelopes like this, which may be a bit confusing, so I'll just show you what goes where. I've got them all laid out here. The first thing you want to do is take your base plate, put it onto your machine like so, and then you've got two sizes of dowel pins. So on the bags you'll have two bags like this, so both 1/8 inch diameter, but one is 1 inch long and the others are 3/8 inch longs. There'll be 4 in each, and you've got a choice. It's to give you the user a choice of which one you use. So the longer ones, these are the 1 inch ones, you can just pop in like this, and you can get away with 2, but I always use 3. The third one goes in pretty tight, as you can see. And it just locates it accurately on the machine. And then you want to take your, if I get the bag, M4 times 8mm button head screws. There'll be 8 in this bag, and these go in these holes all the way around like this. If I can get them to go in. Right, and then using this, while I do this, I'll explain why you've got 2 lengths of dowel pins. So the 1 inch ones you have to remove, but they're really easy to get in and out, so I actually prefer using them. I keep them in there while I tighten this down, and then once they're in, I take them out, and I just find that an easier method. The other option with those, what length are they? 3/8 inch ones. There you go. Is to leave them in there. So it means when you put your fixture plate on top, they're trapped in there effectively. Obviously these are too long to put the fixture plate on. And that's really good because it means you can be absolutely certain that this isn't going to move. Although my personal view is I've never had a problem. Once I've tightened it down with 8 bolts, it's not going anywhere, it's not going to shift. So that's why I use the longer ones and just take them out. But it's up to you to use these little fellas. So if I take one out, you'll see what I mean. Take a longer one out, pop this in. You'll see it goes below the surface, but that's as far in as they go, so you don't have to worry about them going all the way down in the hole and you won't be able to get them out again. That's not a worry or a concern with these. Right, so take your Torx, just go in like that, tighten them all down, like so. I should explain at this point, I'm using, for people who've bought this, they'll know that my first batch of base plates weren't quite right. They don't actually, they've got very slight, the way my machinist held them down in his machine meant that for the final operation they bent ever so slightly like that. They've got a slight curve in them, so you'll see it doesn't quite sit flat, so I'm not actually able to locate those on. The bend affects how the diamond pins, so I won't be able to show you the whole setup, but you'll get the idea. Right, so that's located on now. You don't need to really go hard on these, you've got 8 of them, it's not taking a massive load, so just do them to touch tight. Then as you see, this one's going to be slightly difficult because it's the third one. There we go. So that's that. Then it depends, if you're using your DM12 dovetail, you just pop that in there like that. You'll find at first, see, taking it off, you have to really lift straight and it pops out. You'll find these are a bit stiff to go on, so if you're having to wiggle them and force them in a little bit, don't worry about it. Over time it eases up, and then when you're taking it off, lift straight and it'll come out. If you lift at a slight angle, because of how these holes are machined to a very tight tolerance, so there's absolutely no play in them, but it just means at first it is a bit tricky and it just loosens up over time. As you can see, my DM12 goes in perfectly fine, but your one, because it's new, will just be a bit tricky going to the holes. I've tested all the base plates with my DM12 and with the DM12s that I've sent out with them, so they do go in, so don't worry about that if you have to force a little bit. Next is once you've got that tightened down, you're going to want to put your, depending if you're using the fixture plate or the DM12. If the DM12, just put that in, you tighten it down with 2 holes, you're good to go. The 2 M5 screws, that go through those holes into those threaded holes there. If you're wanting the fixture plate, you're going to want to locate it on top, and there's a number of ways you can do this. Oh, actually, while I remember, I've sent out, let me get the bag, this. So this will contain one long 25mm low head screw. So if you bought the DM12 off me, you'll see that it goes in there, and it's an A4 stainless steel, so stainless steel 316, marine grade steel, so it won't rust at all. Because I found the screw that comes with it is actually pretty low quality. It rusts a bit, so unless you spray it to stop it rusting, then it's if you forget to do that, it does start to rust. And also it's got a very large head on it, so this just means you can get in closer with the spindle when you're machining dovetails. So I've included that. Yeah, so let me find my next bag. Right, so next is this 3mm. You'll get 2 dowel pins in here, 3mm times 40mm, and this is them here. So for locating your fixture plate, personally I just drop them on like this. It won't be able to do it, as I said earlier, because the little diamond pin locators on these are slightly bent. So, but it will on your fixture plates just drop on. See, it half does it there. So you just wiggle it around and it'll find its place and just slot down. Newer plates, again, like with the DM12, they take a little bit of wiggling, but as you use it a few times, it will just go on really, really smoothly. That's what happened with my fixture plate. So yeah, you can do that, or if you're struggling with that, you can rotate the A-axis on your machine. Take it back down a bit. There we go. So you've got these 2 dowel pins, and there's 2 holes in the base plate. A hole there and a hole there. And you use these dowel pins in those holes. Well, I actually fed them into the base plate like that. That's why you put it side on. And then you can just put these on into the holes, and it guides it on as you just push it on, so it's pretty much guides it onto the diamond pins for you. I don't find that necessary. I find it when it's level, it just drops on. And then you remove the dowel pins from the other side. So that's fairly easy. Once you've got it on, you have, let me find the bag. You have this, 4 of these. So let me just get one in my hand. Little button head screw. And that's an M5 times 12mm, 4 of them, and they just go in from the underside like that, and they screw in to the fixture plate, into those 4 holes, thread in. And again, you don't have to really tighten them up hard, just get them to slightly beyond touch tight, and they work really well. Right, so that's actually putting the base plate and fixture plate on. Once you've done that, you will have screws that are for the actual components that go on the machine. So you'll have, if I get back in it, you've got this M2.5 times 6mm. So those are what hold the soft jaws on. They go into your little OK Vice jaw like that and hold soft jaws on. So you'll get 2 of those for each jaw, OK Vice jaw that you ordered. So for each one of these, you've got 2 screws that go in the front. And also, sorry, I've got. You'll also have 2 for each locator. So there, it's got. You'll have a bag that says locator on it, and the other one says OK Vice jaw on it, like that. After that, you have 2 packets for the grub screws. that go into the riser. So you've got an 8mm there, 2.5 times 8, and a 5mm, so a longer and a shorter one. And those just go into the riser like so, which in turn drops into the fixture plate like that, and that's just what you sit your stock on. And then you can also use it as an end stop as well, where I find that you have to kind of hold it down as you're tightening it and just push up against it. If it's loose, it'll kind of knock a bit, but if you just hold it down like that and push up against it, it works fine. I would prefer a better way of doing that. I'm open to suggestions or ideas on ways of doing that better, having a little end stop, but I'm not sure quite yet what to do. So if anyone's got any ideas as a side note, just let me know. And I think that is it. So yeah, any questions, as usual, just drop me an email or message on social media, and I'll get back in touch with you. Bye.